One character Minecraft names have always been extremely popular. They never really needed a boost in awareness like with invalids or dupes, which only blew up after they became known on YouTube. Because of how simple one characters are, anybody could easily go to a site like NameMC, spend 2 or 3 minutes cycling between letters, numbers, and symbols, and get the entire list. And even though they were already popular, that didn't stop YouTubers like XNestorio, Not Nico, and IGN Chucky from creating viral videos about these rare accounts, boosting their popularity even more. Unfortunately, one of these rare one-character names has often been overlooked, both by YouTubers and the community at large, because its stay in the community was very short. It came and went before the vast majority of players knew anything about it. Of course, I'm talking about the account R, and though it has been discussed before, the history behind it is often shrouded in mystery and misinformation, making the real story behind this incredibly rare name being pretty difficult to find nowadays. So, in today's episode of Minecraft Uncovered, we set the record straight, or at least as straight as we can. Today, we delve into the mystery behind R, Minecraft's lost one-letter name. There isn't really a definite start to the story of R. Since the account was lost so many years ago now, a lot of info about how and when it came into existence is gone now. What we do know is that the name was most likely made in the very early days of Minecraft as a non-premium account, and it would have stayed that way until most non-premium one characters were made into premium accounts in late January of 2015. We don't know a lot about the original owner of the account, but we do have one thing, and that's the email used to register the name, judy.lane@att.net. A few years ago, there was an exploit that allowed you to use web extensions like Zap or Tamper Data to view and edit the requests being sent between you and Mojang, which allowed players to discover the email registered to any account by sending a password reset request. Now, an email isn't much by itself, but it is enough to likely get us a phone number or address, somewhere we could actually talk to the owner. Unlike many other one-character accounts, this one actually never had anything to do with Mojang, and after a short while, it was hacked and transferred into the hands of the account trading community. Eventually, R was traded to a user known as StanMPL, who currently is an active player in the Pop PvP community and owner of Mantle.gg. That's the start of the story that most of us know, but it's far from complete. To get the full tale of R, we're going to need some help, so I did some extensive research and got in contact with the one and only StanMPL. So, how did you actually end up getting the account R, if you do remember? Like, were you the original owner, or did you buy it off someone? Did you get it from a friend, or what happened there?
I first saw it on MC Market. Someone posted a thread for it. The guy was called Jonah, and it was sort of like a bit of a bidding war, but it reached about $800. It was quite a lot for me at the time, but it wasn't necessarily bad investment. It was just risky because right now the account would be worth at least 10 times more than that.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I mean, 8 was going for $8,000 like a year or two ago now, so the amount of money R would be worth now is probably insane.
When I got it, it didn't have any Minecon capes, but I purchased a 2013 cape.
So, when did you realize that the account was actually rare? Or if you already did, then what about like your friends or other people that you played with?
I knew right away that R was one of the rarest accounts in the game, and I wouldn't have paid that price for it if I didn't think that. It was actually pretty insane because this was around 2014, 2015, and back then, hardly anyone even knew that two-letter names existed, and it was basically unheard of. So the freakouts were just 10 times more even than you would see now. Literally, I would log into Kohi with the R account and like type EKT, like wrecked in chat, but it would be using my name, and you would get like like the server would almost crash because of the chat spam.
So, are there any interesting stories with R that you want to share, besides the Kohi thing?
Up until recently, it still had the R forum account on Badlion, but it was recently changed to broken_username_66234, which is actually an invalid name, 21 characters long. So I don't know why they changed that. Probably because every now and again I would just go and troll on the Badlion forums with it. Something you wouldn't really think of when you think of names is they can also provide an advantage in game. So it would actually, if you played like UHC or Hunger Games or something with R, it was actually very hard to spot the name because it's like a square name tag, and it would blend in with the Minecraft textures if you're underground. So that was pretty interesting. Like, it was noticeably hard for people to find you.
So what ended up happening to R? Obviously, the simple version that everybody knows is that it ended up getting deleted when somebody tried to check the TID with Mojang, and then Mark deleted it because he thought it was sold. But I was wondering if there was more to the story that hasn't really been made public.
You can bring up the screenshot I sent you on the screen here, but basically, it seems to be that it was found out that it was sold, and also because multiple people were sort of trying shenanigans with the Mojang staff to try and sort of get hold of the account. They were sort of trying to claim ownership or social engineer their way into trying to get the account. So I think it was a combination of those two things, really. It's very odd how this one was deleted. No one really would know the explanation apart from maybe like Mark himself, but like you could theorize that maybe usually it's not Mark who deals with these things, it's the support staff, and they have a certain button which maybe disables the account. But maybe because this account was more important, maybe sort of Mark went in himself and sort of did something on a higher level outside the normal system.
Outside of R, do you still have any interest in the slowly dwindling number of one-character names?
These super rare accounts are certainly interesting, and I will always be interested in them, but I'm not looking to get involved in these super rare accounts again because they're really too risky for me. I don't think it's worth spending that much money when you're going to risk possibly losing it. I do still own the account. I own the account CSS though, which is a nice OG for developers.
So, heading away from R for a bit, for just this last question actually, do you have any info on Atter, which is the other really rare account that I saw on your channel? Because the history of that does not seem to be nearly as well known as R. So do you know anything about how that came into the community, or what got it locked, or anything like that?
Yeah, so Atter, I knew a guy who I was discussing with on Skype. I think this was like probably 2015 or still. Maybe 2016. I was talking to him about OG accounts, and I was asking sort of he specialized in cape accounts. His name was Eyes of Rin, and he had a few different cape accounts, and they were mostly like Minecon capes. But then he said he also had a Cobalt cape, and I asked how much, and he said it was going to be $500. So I was like, wow, that's a bargain. Obviously, it's still a risky account. But yeah, it was from, so the original owner was Mailman105, and you can actually go and see like he won it in a Cobalt competition. You can go and see like his gameplay footage and stuff, which is pretty cool lore for the cape. But yeah, it got logged pretty quickly after I bought it, like a few months. I played it a bit and got some nice reactions, but the thing is with a cape account, the reactions are never as nice as with an OG name account, because there's some people who just, they see the cape and they think, oh, it might be an Optifine cape or whatever. And also people seeing your name in chat and in tab and stuff, the reactions are always a lot better.
A lot of people do think those are fake, and especially now with things like LabbyMod, people faking translator capes, faking 2013's Minecon capes, so on. It's very, very rare for capes to get a lot of reactions anymore. But
yeah, and with so many people using mantle.gg now, it's going to be even harder for people to notice things like Cobalt capes.
Subtle advertisement, but I don't blame you.
You got me.
But yeah, pleasure interviewing you. Very nice accounts, and good luck with Mantle. So that's going to be it for the video. This has been a really long time coming. I've been working on this on and off for about 2 months now, but it's finally here. I probably won't be making more videos about one character names because they're pretty well covered already, and I don't really want to repeat what other people have already made videos on. I've got plenty of other ideas though, so it shouldn't really be an issue. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one, which should be the 5K special. Have a good one, guys. Peace.